Hey, welcome to Dreams in Action. I am C. Orson Brown. I want to give a high five, a fist bump, a shout out to all the listeners tuned in to this motivational channel. Hey, I wanted to jump on tonight. It's late. It's late evening. Had a great time just all out today, just having fun, just uh, jumping off of big towers, just having an amazing time today, just enjoying a day out here in Hawaii. I want to jump on and talk about this again, this piece. Maybe a little lengthy today, just a few minutes, but I want to go ahead and like, subscribe, just join with me as we road to 1,000 and see if we can keep raising the numbers. But I want to talk about this piece, right? Two kinds of peace: this internal peace and then also external peace. And I'll just break both of those down, how they have impacted my life. If you're following, I'm doing a series, the 5 things that I wish I would have focused on as I'm going through school, as I'm going through life, as I'm going through raising a family and in relationship and out of relationship. 5 things that I wish I should have known to focus on. And the first thing is peace. And the series is talking about peace, purpose, prosperity, people, and of course, I'll save that last P for another occasion, passion. But I want to look at this idea of internal peace and also external peace. I was reading a sacred text, and when I say sacred text from a Christian perspective, however, listen, I have such admiration and respect for those who are Muslim, who may be Buddhist, who may be whatever your spirituality or religion is. I have great respect. So this is not some one way of my expression of this particular text to devoid anyone else's perspective. And so I am a Christian. But if you try to box me in of saying, oh, you're a Christian, you should do this, you're going to be sadly mistaken. You won't. I enjoy a nice premium cigar. I enjoy some good red wine. And occasionally I may have an old fashioned. And sometimes there is an FU button in my head that can be pushed, right? But yeah, someone say, man, you say that? Well, yeah, I'm also educated, almost 5 master's degrees, and I'll start my PhD at the end of the year. But let's look at this thing of peace, this internal peace. I was reading a story. The story was about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego during a time where this king had made this particular idol, made an idol of himself, and had everyone to bow down to this particular idol. And these 3 guys didn't. They would not give up. They would not surrender. And so this Nebuchadnezzar, his name, he said, well, if you don't do this, I'm going to throw you into this fiery furnace. And so he heated the flames to a place where people around the flames would die. And he threw these young men in there. But let me back up for a second about the peace that they had. He said, these 3 boys says to this king, look, our God is able to deliver us, but if he doesn't deliver us, we would not surrender. We would not bow down to you. They had this internal peace that regardless of their circumstance or their condition, that internal peace that they held upon their God, they would not surrender it. Another story, Daniel, who was thrown into the lion's den. Whether we believe these stories are fables or whatever, however we believe these stories, it doesn't matter. That Daniel had a type of peace that even thrown into the lion's den, he trusted God. And because of that, there was this internal peace that he had, that he would not lose himself, even thrown in the midst of lions. Now, listen, look, in life, man, we're going to face some lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, we're going to have some situations, some circumstances that will come our way that try to disturb your peace. But there has to be an internal peace that's on the inside of you, that when those things come, that you don't lose yourself, however they may come. Now, you may say, hey, listen, C. Orson Brown, my peace is hiking up a mountain and hugging the tree when I get there. If that's your level of peace, listen, brother, sister, I want you to maintain that internal peace. If that internal peace is going down to the water, to the beaches. I'm here in Hawaii, so I'm surrounded by nothing but beautiful beaches. But going down to the beaches and enjoying yourself, I'm going to say, enjoy yourself down by the river or the ocean and dive in deep. If your peace is hiking or lifting weights or whatever it is, I want you to tap into that internal peace, that peace that surpasses all understanding. Because you're going to have some trying times, some dark, desolate days, and you have to have something that's on the inside of you that gives you peace above all circumstances. And so I want you to tap into that. I want you to practice your breathing or meditation. I want you to practice your affirmations and believing those things. Let me pause. I want to recommend this specific book. It's called The Awakened Brain by Dr. Lisa Miller. And I have other books that I occasionally want to recommend. But Dr. Miller has this book. She talks about how spirituality, we all have some type of form in which we are spirits. We're born with. There's an intrinsic desire for us to connect to something higher than just ourselves. And I want you to search it. I want you to ask. I want you to seek out for it. Whether that's in the form of meditation, whether that's in the form of Allah or Christ Jesus or whatever your spiritual tenets are of prayer and fasting or whatever it is, I want you to do more of it, because all of us has to develop that kind of internal peace that when we find ourselves walking through the valleys of the shadows of darkness, desolation, and death, we would be able to be at peace and rest. So that's the internal peace. You know, waking up in the morning, deep breathing, and having some quiet time to perhaps write in your journal. I write consistently. I have a journal that I write and tell stories. That gives me internal peace. Having time of prayer, meditation, reflection. That's peace. Being able to talk with my close friends about various things, that's peace. But also having time with myself. I'm an extrovert, high extrovert. I'm 6'8", 260 pounds, big personality. Have always been a gregarious type of person. But I also enjoy time with myself, which gives me peace. So you have to have peace with your God. You have to have peace with yourself. That's an internal peace with yourself you have to have. And so I want you to go to therapy if that's what it needs, to wrestle with your own past demons or those issues or traumas or struggles in which you have had to endure, that you're able to sit comfortable with yourself and enjoy your own company. Because if you can't enjoy your own company, certainly you can't welcome others into your circle of your life to enjoy you. So take that time to spend time with yourself and to enjoy who you are. Because here's the thing, as I look at the external piece, when you know who you are, you know where you're going, you know what your goals, dreams, and aspirations, you're no longer moved by what people think or whatever. I'm not saying you don't care what people think in the sense of that it doesn't dictate you, that you don't have to become a chameleon of someone else or what their thoughts are. Who cares? But to be able to be comfortable in your own skin, to be diligent, comfortable, certain in who you are. In who you are. That's a peace that can never be taken. The other piece is external peace or environment. Environment can be part of your external peace. Let me digress. I remember in 1989 when I left Washington, D.C., I joined the Marine Corps. So I've been in for 32 years now. I've been in the Marines for, 12 years enlisted. years as a Marine officer, then later became a Navy Reserve officer and back to active for 6 years, and then back to active duty in 2008 with the Army. So I've had a very eclectic life, amazing eclectic life, and I'm grateful for so many people who have advocated for me, mentors, assignment officers, individuals behind closed doors, white and black and Hispanic, advocating for me to do various things, and I'm grateful, I'm humble, grateful. 1989, I left Washington, D.C. I had to leave. My family or siblings know now some of the struggles or the things that were plaguing my mind. Had I not left, I probably would have been dead. I probably would have been locked up in jail. Probably in the 80s, probably would have had multiple children, AIDS, or all kinds of sicknesses and diseases. But ultimately, I could have been even strung out on drugs. I remember, smoking all kinds of things. So that's for another life, another story. But I remember this one substance that I tried, and it was fake. And when I reflect back on it, what if at 15, 16 years old, that thing that I had tried was real? My life could have been in a whole nother direction. And so leaving in 1989 to join the Marine Corps and to get orders in California just opened my eyes. It opened doors to so many other opportunities. Fast forward today, man, I've traveled. I've been to London. I've been to Canada. I've been to Paris and Italy and Switzerland and Rome. I've been to Asia. I've been to Germany. I've been places all over the world. I've been to Australia. In fact, I climbed the Australian Bridge. I went to the Opera House. I've been all over I've been to various places, and it has expanded my perspective of other cultures. It has expanded who I am. And so that's a level of peace. And sometimes, beloved, sometimes you have to draw the line in the sand. You have to set boundaries that if those things that's on the outside of you that disturb your peace, you have to set boundaries to say, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And walk away. If something is continually in your circle, in your life, that continue to disturb your peace of who you are, even after you have tried to make peace with it, try to reckon with it, try to not bow down to it, but try to do everything that you possibly can, when do you say enough is enough? That's a boundary for you to get up out of the boat and walk upon the water of your own goals, dreams, and desires. Your goals, dreams, and aspirations that's within you. So those are the two areas that I wanted to cover tonight. Just wanted to hop on. I know it's late, but I've been wanting to talk about these things for some time. This external peace and internal peace. Is it in you? Is it in you? So this is what I would ask you to do. I want you to get your journal, get a book, get a notepad, get something. Write the book down. Dr. Lisa Miller, great book, The Awakening Brain. The Awakening Brain, amazing book, incredible book. I'm on my third read of it now, just to be reading it and actually pass it out to various people. That the second part is start writing out your goals and dreams and aspirations, specifically around peace. What things give you peace? What are some of the things that give you joy and love and happiness? I saw them. I'm a joy, pain like sunshine and rain. What are some things that you can write on the journal? In fact, go ahead and just write it down the middle. And on the right side, left side, or whatever, peace. On the other side, pain. That's a peace, pain. And start writing those things out. This gives me peace. Hiking, running, snorkeling, swimming with sharks, diving, traveling the world, going to various places, tasting new food, prayer, meditation. Write down those things that give you peace, and then ask yourself, how can you do more of that? If this hiking and snorkeling and walking and working out and eating good foods, traveling the world, if all of those things is what meditation and prayer and all of those things give you peace, how can you do more of that? On the other side, what are the things that give you pain? Pain. Your job. Okay, if it's your job, how much time do you have left on that job? Or what can you do to minimize the pain, to do something on the side that you can start doing something else until you can launch out further? Or maybe it's just you. Maybe you're the one who's causing the pain yourself. Maybe you're just lazy and not really doing nothing on your job and, working 3 hours and drinking coffee the other 5 hours. I don't know. Maybe you're the causing the pain. But if it's not you, start looking at that thing and saying, if this is causing me pain, how do I begin to do less of that? Or if you like it, maybe you enjoy pain, then do more of what's giving you pain. If that's what you want, do more of it. Do more of it. Right? But of course, that sounds crazy. It does, doesn't it? So how do you begin to eliminate that? Or at least have some conversations about that and saying, hey, what do I need to do to minimize this or get rid of it altogether? If you're having pains in your finances or pains in your family or pain, how do you begin to assess it, to look at it and saying, how can I minimize these things, mitigate these things, or get rid of them altogether? And so there it is. There it is. I hope that you choose more of peace than pain. Choose peace. May the peace be with you. That's funny. Hey, thank you for joining. I'm C. Orson Brown. This is Dreams in Action. Again, I want to give a high five, a fist bump, a shout out to all the listeners tuned into this motivational channel. Hey, stay with me. Rock with me. Roll with me. Ride with me as we do more in this series of the 5 things I wish I would have learned. And maybe you should too. Talk with you soon. Talk with you.